Hi guys, my name is Miller and welcome back to another season video. If I got it right, it's going to be a long one, so get some popcorn and enjoy. Today I will be talking about all the latest known news on the game, discuss events, and to close off, I would like to tell you something personal for those who would be interested. But to start off, the claiming of the car. The ATS Automobili GT is in my opinion, a semi-beautiful car. It's got like some nice simplistic design back, but a front end which I will still have to get used to. Don't get me wrong, I do like certain aspects of the car, but it really is something different. Seen from certain angles, it looks very vicious and aggressive, and I like that. And then you have other ones where, to me, it feels a little bit off, or you can see the resemblance between the 650S and this one, which by the way is the car this is based on. As Automobili is a new manufacturer to the game, it might be hard to get it decently upgraded, so if an event is planned for this car, I do hope it does not come in the near future, and it is something that we cannot expect for multiple seasons, so we have some time to stack up some fusion parts as a buffer. The car started with production in 2019 in real life, but there are mentions of special GTS versions, which could potentially be an Evo Cup. Performance wise, I think we will have to settle with the 7.8 for now. Not the greatest car out there, but I think a right performance for the car. Onto the current season, a tier 4 season price car, the Jaguar XE-SV Project 8, which is by the way a perfect fit for season 88. Never mind. It's been a while since we had a tier 4 season price car, since the CTSV I think. It might not be as interesting as a high-end tier 5 car, but nothing is more wrong. A car like this has excellent potential for a future prestige cup, which will not require our soul and in-game cash to get it fast enough, or as much as a tier 5 car. Jaguar fusion parts are also a lot more common, so I think in the future it would be an interesting car for sure. The Project 8 was developed by the Special Vehicle Operations at Jaguar. Their goal is to create the ultimate Jaguar vehicles by making them the most luxurious, the fastest, and with the highest level of technology. The group of engineers also sits down together with the clients to indulge their passion into an exclusive collectible. The Project 8 is the follow-up of the Project 7, based on the F-Type that by now we all probably own or heard of, as it's a quite remarkable car in game as prize for beating Victor in Tier 4. The XE-SV is powered by a supercharged V8, being able to put up 592 brake horsepower, which is a crazy number for such a saloon car. And not only that, it uses a motorsports derived suspension and a modified all-wheel drive system to increase the agility, making it an absolute track monster. The fact that it is a track monster has also been proven, as it broke its own record around the Nürburgring for fastest saloon by running a lap in 7 minutes and 18 seconds, 3 seconds faster than its previous record and a whole 7 seconds to the second fastest saloon. Mad. It's faster than the 488 GTB tried to process that as well. In game, however, like I said earlier, it's a tier 4 car, as you can see here too. For the season price car, if you are top 10, you will get this color, together with the orange milestone spec we non-top 10 players are trying to go for as well. What I have to say, however, the car itself was already planned to be in game since last year in November, as then according to this Instagram post, they took pictures of the Project 8 owned by Harry Metcalfe, or maybe better known as Harry's Garage on YouTube. I wouldn't have minded having this purple spec, however. Performance wise, it's not the fastest tier 4 car, but it's up there, maybe to the front of tier 4, which is always nice. Prestige car, the one and only, the biggest of them all, the Bentley Bentayga. A tier 4 car which caused a crazy tumult at the start of the year, where during calculations the server Thanos the CSR2 player base by banning almost 50% of it. Luckily since then we haven't had any similar happen, but it meant that many actually didn't obtain this car, which I'm still pretty much convinced it can fit an Abarth in the boot. If you still need this car, the 10 times drop rate starts tomorrow on the silver crates and there are many new colors available. And it's also a good car that you can use in the prologue for the British event, because you know Bentley is British, yeah. Performance wise, it isn't the best car out there in tier 4, with a max start time of a 12.257, it's put right in the middle. By the way, did you know that the Bentayga is more than twice as expensive than the Project 8? If I'd have the money, I'd know which one I would go for. And now onto the events, this is where it gets more interesting in my opinion. So now we have 3 main events on the map, the Best of British, the Halloween Showdown and the other Showdown test. The Best of British event I will discuss more in depth tomorrow. What I've heard so far on it is that it's very doable and fun, that you can get a free Vanquish with extra parts, but the event is also not mandatory. If you already have a Vanquish, you can lock it in Duality Cup kinda style event, where the free car can actually get you some parts and 800,000 cash. The Senna itself is also a pretty good looking and fast car, with rumors of it being able to hit 9.6 on stage 4 and 7.16 maxed out, being faster than the TSRS. but a worthy opponent. The Senna will be one of the 5 cars you will need for the finale that I expect in the update in 2.10, which is in the far future, but again more on this tomorrow evening on the video concerning the whole Best of British. Now the Halloween Cup. That one is something I'm torn about, and I think again the perfect example of a good idea but poor execution. We have without a doubt already seen it, but basically it comes down to a showdown where you have to hit 1408 trophies to get the green purple star Tiffany C10. I don't mind per se the idea of using a showdown to get a car, but I think the 1408 mark is a little bit too hard, definitely for newer players where events like these are supposed to be loads of fun and not stressy. Yesterday evening on stream you needed to hit an 8.15 consistently to get the car, basically only reachable with a nearly at maxed out Grand Sport, and this morning afternoon it was an 8.45, which is more doable if you have the Grand Sport in the first place with some stage 6 parts, or you'll need to run a maxed out Peter's LM Camaro. By tomorrow perhaps a 2-star Camaro can do it, but I think the difficulty is still a bit too steep, seeing you only get 48 hours to complete it. I would have done something like 1031 to refer to 1031 Halloween, or use it as a reward for completing an X amount of races. Because now if you only have a tier 3 decently upgraded, because for example if you only had time to play the first day and you had a half decently upgraded tier 3 Chevy, you would not be able to get the C10, while others would be able to do so 2 days after, while with the ladder system it wouldn't have mattered when you played. This is something that is quite dependent, which I feel like is not really something fair, to be honest. On top of that, I feel like it misses the story behind it, like we had 2 years ago with Jess losing her keys and Jerry doing something weird. With the map glitch, everything was a lot of fun. Like even I thought something with Shax as well. Or also maybe add something to do with the C10, because now it's just dull and not worth upgrading. On the other hand, I'm already bankrupt from past couple of seasons by now, so maybe not doing anything would be good. But on the other hand, it just feels kinda dead end. Last thing I want to say is, what is up with those crates? 550 bronze keys for 3 fusion parts? That's stupid. With only a 6% chance of getting a stage 6 part? That's stupid. It cost me 10 to 12k to get 3 stage 6 parts. That should not be that high for a tier 3 car. Calculated, it cost me 184 keys per fusion part, while a tier 5 crate is 140 per fusion part. Which is too much, basically 180 for what it is. Now we are talking about Showdown onto the final guaranteed event of the season. The Showdown on the map rewarding Bentley parts, but not only that, also crew RP by getting certain amount of trophies. I'm not a big fan of this whatsoever. Crew RP should not be won depending on how maxed out your car is and how maxed out other people's cars are, because 2000 trophies is mad hard. For example, the Pagani event required 2300 to be top 1000, and 2000 basically was already having the car maxed out with some fusion parts missing. I like the idea again of a showdown, which by the way uses the prestige car of the previous season, so in this case it will be the Donkervoort, but it sucks that they require you to have the car upgraded to a certain point, and if you don't have it, you lose out on some big crew RP. On the other hand, if we see 2000 is unreachable and we see top 10 again with all max RP, we know stuff ain't adding up again, but does it even matter because natural motion won't do anything about it anyways. On top of that, my biggest fear is that the 75k you can win in here will be taken away from other cups throughout the season. If that is the case, ooh, that's no bueno. The Prestige Cup isn't available yet, so I cannot confirm whether this is additional crew RP or a replacement one. The Showdown is a replacement of the milestone leaderboard, however, where we did notice there was little to no interest really as of late. I have to say I really enjoy Showdown events in general, but placing rewards and the trophy count is something I'm not really fond of, to be fair. If it's an exclusive car like an Evo Cup, then that's a different story. But an event where the center point is a Halloween car or crew RP, which is crucial to milestone players and beginners, is just punching them in the ding-dongs. Starting players basically stand 0 to no chance. A super expensive bronze crate with the requirement of an almost max car is also a little bit too much for me. Something has to be changed to create an even more playing field. Also, showdown events where the gap between fastest to second fastest car is too big, like we have now with the Corvette Grand Sport and the LM Camaro, which is roughly 4/10, is also something not fun. Basically, if you couldn't play when the Corvette was given out for free or you started playing after, you can almost rule yourself out of getting the C10. A feature from the update which is worth mentioning, however, is something small many probably didn't even notice yet. Someone who took an internship at Natural Motion for his studies has added a small button to the tuning screen which resets the tune to what it was when you enter the tuning area. It's something small and it's something useful and very practical. I'm glad to see she was able to make such a feature as an internship. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Final thing I would like to mention here is that roughly around now, 3 years ago I made the mistake of buying the Toyota as my first car in game. Yes, it's been 3 years now that I've been playing. I remember it quite well. I used to have a Huawei G6 which ended up with a crashed motherboard, and then I got a P9 Lite as a replacement and asked my friend, hey, you know any games we can play? And we started playing CSR 2 together. I remember when starting playing there was a 20 times drop rate on the McLaren P1 as a celebration for Halloween. And then when I started playing there was also a 10 times drop rate on the Z28 on the silver crates as a prestige car, leading to my oldest screenshot, me showing off to my pal the Z28 I pulled at rank 21. The same season I hit 550k before I jumped to race fast 2 seasons later, where I hit my first million crew RP. Since then I've had a long history with the game, both love and hate relationships. Jeez, time has flown. People keep saying the game is dying, but seeing how they still manage to push out events with mentions of even the Voiture Noire in the files and such coming up, I can say I'm pretty sure it won't die anytime soon, and neither will this channel, I hope. With that I will close off. If you guys would be down to listen to me telling my story on the past 3 years, let me know so I can make a video around it. I hope everything is up to date with everyone and everything is clear and that you guys are ready for it. I know I ain't, but do I have a choice? Not really. Tomorrow I hope to have a video out on the British event, and I think that's all for now. Thanks yesterday for all those who watched on the live stream. We reached 450 people. It was amazing, a lot of fun. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, do not hesitate to leave a like. Subscribe for more content like this. My name is Mille. See you around and keep racing.